Well, been a bit of a disappointing week money-wise, but I've had van issues, been a bit poor on the CX. I've renewed my CX, and I've got myself, hopefully, fingers crossed, a new work supply. So moving forward, hopefully, it will improve. Let's see how the week went. Hi everyone, Dave here, Anvil Logistics. It's Monday the 9th of October and it is 5 p.m. I am at home. I wasn't intending to work today because if you've watched last week's video, you'll know that the van seems to have developed a little bit of a glitch on the water again. But I did get it back home from Reading on Friday evening and it did not miss a beat. It didn't lose any water, it didn't overheat and got home fine. So the thing remains an enigma to me at the moment. So what I decided to do was, I was intending to not work Monday because it was booked in for a service anyway for Tuesday, a full service. But I thought this morning when I woke up, it didn't miss anything. I did use it on Sunday, just give it a little bit of a run just to try it. Not working, just took it out for a run and it appeared to be fine. So I thought, well, I'll just do something local or semi-local today and then we'll see how it pans out. So this morning I bid for and got a job which was from Bradford. Picking up in Rochdale where I live, going to Bradford, dropping off some sprinkler system equipment like tubes, pipe work, etc. At the shopping centre in Bradford. I had to go into the underground loading area. Bit of faffing about because there's no phone signal under there, so when you get under you couldn't ring the guys to say I'm here, which meant then I had to get my little chubby legs up to the entrance by foot, ring them and then go back. Anyway, they came down, got me unloaded, and then I had to carry on to Hull, to a big site in Hull where they make those enormous propellers for the wind farms. I won't say the name of the company because I always get myself in lumber, don't I? But again, delivering to guys on the sprinkler systems, little bit of faffing about because of security, showing ID, all that kind of thing. Got that delivered and I got £1.25 a mile for that, plus I added money on for the second delivery, you know, the fact that I had to do another delivery. So I didn't get bad money. I ended up getting 150 quid for the job. Then I thought I'll just do a slow drive back. There was only one job available in Hull, which was a tempting job, but I couldn't do it because it was long wheelbase job, pick up in Hull, go to Birmingham, deliver in Birmingham around tea time, and then deliver in Wimborne at 9 a.m, which would have meant obviously an overnight stay probably down south. Now, that wouldn't have bothered me, I would have gone for that, but I wanted to get back because I needed to get back. One, because I'm rehearsing with the band tonight, and secondly, because I've got the van service, so I couldn't do it. And in the end, I managed to pick up a little job from Castleford, going to Huddersfield. Minimum price, 40 quid. Short wheelbase job, did that and then went home. So got home, so I did 190 quid for the day, which is £190 more than I thought I would do. So that's something, and the van hasn't missed a beat, it hasn't overheated or anything. So it goes in tomorrow, gets a service, they're going to do a full pressure test on it and hopefully we can suss out what the problem was, because it does remain mysterious. And I turned down a really good job today with a new work supplier because I didn't want to let them down, and I probably could have done it, but you know, you just can't 100% rely on it, can you? So when a van gets to this particular position where you can't 100% rely on it, you start thinking, oh, shall I get rid of it? Shall I not get rid of it? I don't know what to do. I hate it. But everything else is great about the van. It runs like a Swiss clock. It's got no problems. It's got no problems at all. And I really, you know, the mileage isn't overly high. It's 110,000. I don't really want to get rid of it if I can help it. I don't mind spending a couple of £1,000 on it if it gets it sorted. So we'll find out what the problem is And if we can resolve it, and if he finds out what it is, then hopefully we can move on from there. Because I did, over the weekend, whilst I was sulking, look at changing the van. And I had a look at a VW Crafter 4-metre. But this one was about less than a year old, really low mileage. But you're looking at 40 grand with the VAT and everything. It's a lot of money, isn't it, to pay for a working vehicle? And then I'd lose a significant amount of money on this van as well, which I don't expect to gain money on it. Obviously, I mean, I was going to run it until it just finished. But nah, it's not worth it. I'm going to keep this van, providing it's nothing terminal wrong with it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. And I'll get back to you in the week to let you know what the current situation is. Back again. I forgot to mention, I've renewed my Courier exchange today. It is due in about 5 days' time, and I've left it, seeing if I can get anything better. I do need the Courier exchange at the moment. I haven't got enough work of my own to justify not having it. So when they rang me today, I did play hard to get, but in the end, I've renewed it. It's cost me about £1,598, about the same as last year. The only consolation I got was that I got 3 months extra, which is pretty much what I got last year, really. And they made it sound as though they were doing me a right favour. But I couldn't get it any cheaper. That's the cheapest it would go. And to be frank, I just thought I'd get it out of the way. So I've done it. I paid for it all. So I'm now Courier exchanged up now until December next year. So I've got 15 months. Whether I'll use it all to its full extent, probably not. Is it worth it? Possibly not, but I need it. I need the insurance it brings for the time being. There's no doubt about that. I sit here and I tell people at the moment, don't join the Courier exchange. It's not worth it. But yeah, I need it. I need it at the moment. Is it worth the price? Probably not, but I still need it because without a doubt, it is the better of all the platforms out there, isn't it? So as much as I say to people, it's a lot of money to pay, I might not need it all for the work, but the contacts and everything else that are on it are useful to me. And also, when your Courier exchange ends, so does your accounting package. So if it ends, all the invoices I've got in the records and everything there waiting to be paid, I'd have to sort that all out manually and do it myself, whereas, of course, I use the accounts package at the moment. So it just saves me a bit of work as well. But yeah, that's how much it's cost me. I've done it, I've bitten the bullet. I have renewed my Courier exchange. I will not ever go to the point where I endorse it and say, oh, get your Courier exchange and say I've sent you and try and claim me £50 vouchers as some YouTubers have done. That's up to them. I'm not doing it because I don't want to be held accountable. I tell people, if you've got nothing else, you probably do need it. Is it great? Probably not. Is it the better of the platforms? Probably yes. Anyway, I'll catch up in the week. Morning, everybody. It is now Thursday the 12th of October. It is 8:15 in the morning. I don't have a job. I'll just catch up what's gone on this week. The reason why I don't have a job is that I've not worked. I did mention the van was going in. I had this problem on the water. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. It's been diagnosed now. It's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's getting the parts appear to be the major problem. A correction to the Courier exchange. It has been renewed, so my renewal is January. Is it now? It's January anyway, instead of December, like I said. I forget the year. I'm getting that old that the years go so fast. So I put some bids in this morning, not had any bites. I haven't got any work of my own because I haven't been able to commit to anybody because I didn't know what's going on with the van. So the upshot is this. It's had its service, it's had new pads. The problem is the thermostat housing, which has got, apparently it's got some of the sensors in it or whatever. So the thermostat housing is not telling the fans to come on. Or correctly, whatever's in the thermostat housing. So the fans won't turn on. So therefore, if the engine gets warm, the fans don't come on. So then it starts venting out of the valve in the expansion chamber. So you lose water. So They advised me, obviously the other day, don't use it for work, which I did on Monday, and I also drove home, didn't I, from Reading. So I've got lucky, really, in so much as that I could have cooked it, and that would have been down to me. So I've got lucky. They've tested the head and everything. Everything's fine. I've not done any damage. So what they have done now, they've ordered the part. We could get a copy part the same day, but the actual genuine part they can't get until Monday. It's going to be delivered on Monday. And they've advised me, and I agree, put a genuine part in, because you get a copy one, it could bust up again in a month. So I've ordered a genuine part to go in. It's not massively expensive. I think it's about 80 or 90 quid. But in the meantime, I can't earn any money. So what they have done is they've now done a little rewire job on the van, and I can have my fans on without using the thermostat housing to control them. It's not a permanent thing, but they've done it temporarily so I can use the van. So, and it works. So we tested it and everything, and so that's what I'm going to do. So now I need some work. I've not earned a lot this week. I did earn some money on Monday. I probably shouldn't have done it, like I say, but I did it because I didn't know any better. And now I need, well, I don't need, but I really could do with getting, a few invoices in for this week, because I cannot work the van properly, can I? And I'm going to have to take some time off on Tuesday again to get them to fit it. It's going in Tuesday morning, first thing. Said it should be done by dinner at the latest. So that's the situation. I've bid for some jobs. I've not had any bites. I was looking at the feed yesterday when I was wandering around in the centre of Manchester. I tell you what a load of dickheads hang around in the centre of Manchester in the day. Absolute arseholes, load of paraffins, coming right up to your face asking for money. To be honest with you, it's all you can do is not to react in a nasty way. But, you just have to swallow it and walk on. But there's some right arseholes who just don't want to work. I mean, I look at them and think, they're either taking drugs and don't want to work and just want to beg off people, but they're quite intimidating, really. I mean, they got me angry, but I can understand how some ladies on their own will get quite intimidated by these people. They need sorting out. Anyway, that aside, try and get some work today for the next few days. The thing is, the company that I'm getting in with via my friend, they've been messaging me, saying, are you available, are you available? And of course, I've had to say, no, I don't want to do it right. So I told them last night that I can now work. But that's probably too late for today, because most of the work for today have been allocated out yesterday. So if anything comes up, they'll ring me. So in the meantime, I better get me fat backside on the CX and try and find some work. I'll update you later in the week, and we'll see how we get on. But it won't be a good week this week for money, but that's not necessarily the fault of the CX. It's just simply that I've not been able to work much. Hi everyone. Right, it's now Friday. It is 4:45 in the evening, afternoon, whatever you want to say. And that's me finished. I've just finished my work. I'm just at Manchester Airport, and I've dropped off my last loads for the new people who I've started to do a bit of work for. Hopefully this will lead to more things. But first of all, I'll take you through where I left you, which was looking for work yesterday, wasn't it? And I eventually managed to get a job, and it wasn't a bad job, actually. I got a job going up to Yorkshire, and managed to get myself a job back to Manchester as well. But by the time I got back to Manchester, it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I would have liked to have done a little bit more money, but I couldn't get a job to save my life. So in the end, I gave up and I went home. And that was pretty much the story of the CX this week, I think. Very, very difficult. Lots of other people on the chat groups have been saying how difficult it's been, and it was no different for me. Obviously, earnings-wise this week has not been so clever. Today has made up in some part for that, but still will be a low earning week. But the main reason for that obviously is being off the road. But hopefully after Tuesday morning, everything should be back bang tidy again. Hopefully, anyway. So about this job, I got a phone call. Well, I got a text message first of all from them to ask if I had anything booked in. This was yesterday tea time. I responded I didn't. They said, right, we'll give you a ring in a bit then. So I didn't then bother looking for anything else because I thought they were going to ring me. And it was an hour later when they actually rang. And they booked me for the day. And it's been quite interesting, quite different. And on the whole, I've enjoyed it. So essentially, I'm not going to mention any company names. I'm not going to mention the name of the people who employ me. Other than to say that I picked up this morning from the airport, took a load to Birkenhead, and then I did a collection from the Wirral and a collection from Deeside, and then had to do 2 other collections from Wrexham and then back to the airport. It wasn't quite as simple as that because one of the collections couldn't be picked up till 2 o'clock, and then after waiting all that time, it turns out I couldn't have it after all because the reference numbers hadn't come through. With air freight, you've got to have everything exactly bang tidy. So I took the collections that I had back to the airport, cargo freight, and it's all been delivered. And all in all, it's been quite an easygoing day of work, decent enough pay, and quite satisfactory. Now, would I have earned more on the CX? You don't know. If I'd have picked up some ADR work, probably would have earned more. But this particular job is the least, I think, popular of the work that they offer. But everybody's got to do a fair share. There are certain jobs that they have that are not too popular and certain jobs that are extremely lucrative. You cannot expect to do all the lucrative ones. And obviously, with me being new, I'll show willing and I'll pretty much do whatever they throw at me. Because that way, I get the impression that they're very fair because a friend of mine does work for them and he does very nicely, thank you very much, out of them. But when he first started, he didn't get work all the time. He got work in bits and bats, maybe 1, 2 a week, until now he pretty much works full time for them all the time. So they've got to get to know me, they've got to get to trust me. They already have drivers, so you can't go stamping on their toes. But hopefully I can gradually, slowly but surely work my way in. And if I do, that'll be absolutely marvellous. A lot of their customers are high end, a lot of their customers are government related, so I absolutely cannot mention anything about who they are on social media or anything like that. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardise this. Needless to say, it took me a while to get in, and I've only just got me first foot on the ladder, so to speak. So we're not going to do anything to jeopardise that. And the way that the CX has been, don't get me wrong, you do get good days. Again, this is another example of what I say. You can't wholly rely on the CX for your work. You need to have other sources of income, whether it's your own customer or whether it's just simply working for someone else at a fair price. Now, my preference is to work for somebody else at a fair price, because when it's your own customers, that comes with other complications, doesn't it? It comes with phone calls, emails at stupid o'clock, chasing drivers up, and all the other things that are involved.
things that I just don't want to do. I'm too long in the tooth to get involved in any of that. More than happy to work for someone, do the best job I can for them at a fair price. And this, what they pay, I know what they pay because my friend works for them, is a fair price. And as long as you give them your best, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll keep my wheels turning. Especially the CX has not picked up like I thought it would over the year. It's only going to get worse, certainly towards the end of December and then the early months of January and February. So I think having a foot in the door here will be very, very useful indeed for me. So let's hope that the van now is fully sorted. It is working fine at the moment because, of course, I've got this temporary rig on it that they're doing. So it's not once overheated. It's not lost any water. I have been checking it pretty much most of the day, just in case. It's ran great. As I say, stops on a sixpence, can do brakes on the front now, and it's had a full service. So that should be it. Fingers crossed. Once it gets the new thermostatic housing fitted on Tuesday, that should be it for a while before it needs any more attention from me. The front tyres, I've still got quite a bit of tread on, but they have been on, I don't know, well over 6 months. And I'm thinking I might think about changing them next month because I'd sooner have some nice meaty tread on the front to get me through the winter. And they were expensive, these fronts, when I got them done last time. The back ones have hardly lost any tread at all. And I could, I suppose, swap them round. But I think what I'll do is I'll just simply get some brannies, I think, maybe in a month's time, for the front. So we've got some great winter tyres on to get me through November, December, January, February. Because I live in Oldham. The part of Oldham I live is very hilly because it's getting out to the sticks a little bit. And I also live on a hill. I live in a cul-de-sac at the bottom of a cul-de-sac, which is a hill down. And it's quite a steep hill. And in the winter, when the snow comes, not that we get as much as we used to, but when it snows, we always get snow where I live. And one thing I did notice is that previous vans I've had, I'd never got up that bloody hill. This van got up the hill, but partly because it had some lovely brand new tyres on as well. So that's another good reason for changing the tyres too, isn't it? I saw James' video from Freddie Fletcher Limited. He always puts a good video out. Anyone who's not subscribed, consider subscribing. Freddie Fletcher Limited. And he put a video out recently about the CX telling people that to ignore the YouTubers because we say that the CX at the moment is not so good. But we're only saying that simply because we want all the work for ourselves. I will say this, that as usual, it seems unfortunate they are talking rubbish, although I have renewed mine because it is an insurance policy and I can afford it. But I still would advise people to think carefully before committing what is going to be over £2,000 of your hard-earned money to something at the moment when it's in a little bit of depression. But if you are definitely going to join, then I will also say in balance, this CX is probably the best of all the platforms out there. So keeping it fair. But to say that we are deliberately trying to put people off, which is a contradiction. Before, people were saying, oh, YouTubers, they're getting everybody to sign up. That's the reason. So it's switched now. And they're saying that we're trying to put people off. No, I'm not. I just tell the truth. I tell you how it is. This week for me, pants, absolute pants, money-wise. But I'm not blaming the CX for that. I'm blaming the fact that my van's been off the road mainly. But I will say on the days I've been on the CX, it's been challenging, really, really difficult to get work. Because if it's quiet, you've just got so much competition. coming up against you that, you know, it's really difficult. I mean, I'm putting 40, 50 bids in sometimes. The ones I've had, I've got lucky. I've got a decent rate per mile, but that's probably 1 in 40 bids. And I do find it hard, you know. I mean, I'm not the most experienced courier out there, not by a long shot. But I've been on the Courier exchange for, let's think, 15 months. So I've gained some experience. And I can tell you that this time last year, on the CX, I was doing a lot better. I had a big period off it because I had that contract that was covering. Came back on and it was like a rude awakening, an absolute rude awakening. It's almost like starting again. And I've been working to try and get something else, which, with the help of a good friend of mine, thank you, Skeletor. I know you do watch, my friend. I've managed, hopefully, to get in somewhere else. Early days, but we'll see how it goes. So that's it for me for this week. We'll see how we do next week. Hopefully, it'll be some CX work with a mixture of work from the new people. And hopefully things will be a little bit better next week. Got to keep looking on the bright side. Can't let it get you down. We do get bad weeks. And this week is a bad week. But I've earned something, which is better than nothing. If you got any comments, got any questions, please put them in there. They're always welcome. Let us know how you've done. Anyone got any other reasons why they think it's so quiet? Put it in. Let's have a look. Because other people do read the comments and maybe it'll help them. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you for subscribing. If you've not subscribed, why not? It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to the channel. And please give me a thumbs up if you like watching the videos or it's been useful to you, or just take pity on me. One of them. And it helps the video get out. Take care, everyone, and I'll be in touch soon. Thank you very much.